All right, Shalom. Shalom. It's the brothers from Great Millstone, New Orleans, coming at you with another live lesson. Before we get started, we're going to give all praises, glory, infinite honors, and to double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth and rule well, and peace, blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel, and may you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right. And, we just going to get into it, on current events, all right, the way things are going in this society, all right, especially, we can start to see the panic, all right, from what the king, all right, the king of Babylon has been doing, man, all right, speaking chiefly, starting with the tariffs, all right, with these trade wars with these other nations, all right. Now, what you've been having going on within the last week or so, all right, you have a multitude of people ultimately reporting in on, the docks are empty, all right? No ships are coming in. You see the containers, food, lack of bread, all right? And these things are imminent, man, all right? Because, as they say, and I'm a person that works in that business, all right, for brothers, that's in the trucking industry or the delivery industry, all right, that moves freight, all right. We know that whether you on the driving side, the delivery side, all right, whether you on the sales side of things, okay, we know that these storehouses, all right, these Walmarts, all right, Trader Joe's, the Targets, all right, they get deliveries every week, man. All right, sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. All right, so when the things that are not made here, all right, in the USA, when they don't have a chance to get in, all right, brother could give me that in Revelation 18 when they talk about. Oh, you got that? I'm loading it right now, brother. Oh, con. It talk about Babylon the Great being an import country. All right, and majority of the things here are imported, man. All right. It makes more money. It pays out more money to get things imported than it actually makes off of them exporting things. All right, but you could bring it out.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and 15. It says, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, at last, that great city that was clothed in fine linen.
Salaki, start at 10.
At 10?
Yeah.
This is Revelations 18 and 10. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
Right, it's going to take 1 hour for this place ultimately to be destroyed. All right, and that's going into, after the nukes hit this place. All right, and they actually see the destruction of this place. But go ahead.
And if I could add to you, and the Lord is just constantly giving us a glimpse of, what America, aka the daughter of Babylon, is going to become. But verse 11 says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Right, no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. All right, and the merchants of the earth, all right, these people, these kings of the other nations, all right, the ones that are actually making profit, all right, off of the U.S. dollar, okay, they're going to be mourning and weeping because it ain't going to be no more making money, all right, all of that is going to come to a naught, man, But you can jump to 15. Well, yeah, you could jump to 15.
This is Revelation 18 and 15. It says, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her, America, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, at last, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster in all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off.
You can read 18.
And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city?
Yeah, you know, because they made the more money than you can ever imagine, man. All right. But y'all brothers got anything?
Go ahead, one more verse, 19. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour she made desolate.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a quick judgment, man. You want to say something on that?
Kind of, just backing up what you said, it's going to be a quick judgment, and again, America, as it mentioned in, verse 16, when it's going into the purple, scarlet, all that luxury that America, once had, it's constantly dwindling down now. Again, we're getting a glimpse right now, but, in the future, when JT really hit the fan, we're really going to see the downfall of America, man. And, just in 1 hour, it's just going to be in a blink of an eye that this thing is just going to be over with,
Con. Y'all brothers got anything y'all want to bring out?
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6 says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense. Recompense going to repay. So we're in time of judgment. So how do we flee out of the midst of Babylon? You know what I'm saying? This wisdom, this knowledge, this gospel, spiritually. So right now we're seeing that America is slowly circling the drain, and the nation constantly seeing what's going on over here in Babylon the Great, and also they're setting up these alliances, with the, they are done with the dollar. They're done with America, period. So we seeing that. I got a verse 7. It says here, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7 said, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. So every nation, around the world, has well, we put it like this: America has a major influence around the world. All the nations are mad because they drunk of the wine. They have fornicated with the whore, the philosophy, the policy, all sorts of that do thy will spirit. Everyone want to come to America, get rich, do whatever they want to do. So now they see it right now. The nations are seeing that this place is finished. You know what I'm saying? The economy is constantly plunging, on the decline, seeing the ports are constantly drying up, saying that the shelves are going to be empty. A lot of things are coming upon Babylon to make a dark forecast. So, now seeing that these nations seeing that they, this place is weak. We could become the next superpower, See, that's all I want to get on that. I can go a little bit more, but, we'll leave it.
If I could say real quick, because you probably could read down to 9 for real.
Okay.
But the nations is seeing the filthiness of Babylon now. They done drunk the wine, all right, which represents the democracy, right? Their philosophies. But now they're seeing that, this ain't really what it was meant out to be. That's why the nations are gonna be mad and actually turn on Babylon and shoot nukes on this whore, man.
Exactly. Right? You slowly saying that. So verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroy. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Verse 9. Verse 9. So we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one unto his own country, for her judgment reaches unto the heavens and is lifted up even to the sky. So
it said Trump gonna fix it, huh?
Yeah, make America great again. You know what I'm saying? Man, the same thing. So we see it right now. The Lord is using DJ Donald Trump, to bring this place to, to the end. Yeah, it's gonna be great. What the Lord is gonna do to this place. That I think Bayam brought it out, 1 hour, a speed and richness of this place. Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work, man. That's what we witness, You got it, man.
Yeah, and you got this damn devil, all right, which we believe that is Nero in the reincarnation. We believe That's who that is. All right, and he's actually saying just give it some time. All right. Well, last time I checked, according to the prophecies and the signs of the time ain't on your side, my man. All right, you want to have this whole macho of having America great again. You want to bring back all the manufacturing here. All right, you want to bring back everything to America. You know, you want to negotiate these different trade deals, and I'm putting tariffs on you. Well, all this shit, we gonna see it backfire, man. You know, and we seeing it backfire now. You know, right. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people are out here buying in stock, man. All right. A lot of people are out here buying in droves because they don't know what's going to happen next, man. You know? Because we know that a famine is coming. All right? Hey, Deshaya, bring that scripture out.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places."
Right. It said there shall be famines, man. All right. Along with nation rising against nation. All right. Kingdom against kingdom. In which we seeing that now. You see, this is the signs of the time showing you how close we are to the end. All right. And we've seen pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places. All right. All these things are the beginning of sorrows, man. All right. And we can clearly see that the famine is close. Hey, and we can see that it's controlled too. All right. We can see that this being perfectly orchestrated, man. You know? And we know all of these things to do what? Forward their plan. All right. That NW0, man. You know? Y'all brothers, whatever y'all brothers got, bring it out. No brothers holding.
I had the second Esdras 6.
Khan, you bring it out.
Khan, second Esdras 6 and 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Right, which goes into, these warehouses, all right, these superstores, as they call them, just apparently suddenly, all right, as it said, like the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night, all right, it says suddenly, all right, meaning it's going to happen so quick that people not even going to realize, they don't have no more food in the stores, man. Mm-hmm. You know? But that was it on that?
I got a little video to bring it out with a little bit more edification about, the sown places will be unsown about those sports. If you want me to bring it out, we have time.
Okay. Hold that 1 second. Kalai, you had something?
Yeah. I had something. This 15 and verse 11, and it reads, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Right, and when you look at the plagues that Egypt had received, famine was a major part of that, man. It was a major part, and that's how you know this is talking about America, right? Also known as Babylon the Great, also known as Egypt. Right? It says as before. You see, to my understanding, and I'm pretty sure you brothers can agree with me, right, that Egypt was only destroyed once, right, by the Lord. He destroyed one time. He didn't need to do it twice. This is talking about America, right? Babylon the Great. Let me see. Yeah, verse 12, it says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation, woe to the world and them that dwell therein." You paid attention. Somebody was saying something?
No, that was the video.
Yeah, because it's gonna come to a time like just before we started this video, the brother was talking about how a store was closing down, which we see it through our daily lives. Store shelves are emptied. Places are being vacated. Okay, even in the construction business, I work in a construction business. Even that's coming to it's getting strenuous. All right, the different materials that we use, you know, like you, one would say wood comes from here in America, but it's different things that we treat the wood with, and you know, the concrete and those things are becoming scarce. Mm-hmm. All right, work in general is becoming scarce, but you got it out.
Hey, if I could say too, you know, you got the truckers too. Yeah. You know, and the truckers, that's the veins of the country. So right. You know, what's the quickest way to murder somebody or anything is cut the veins. All right, that's it. A quick, you know, death. But that's the case that's coming to America. You know, if the truckers ain't working, man, no product is being moved. Right. You know, but I got a precept for you too if you want to say something.
Yeah, if I could add real quick, because with that whole trucking thing, all right, you have actual people that are brokers, right, and people that, you know, negotiate the deals for the truckers to go this way, you know, and how much they load gonna make, this, that, and the third. All right, and there's people that's negotiating these deals, and they ain't even making no money off negotiating the deals no more, man. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's getting to a point to where the demand is surpassing the supply, man. You know, and which is gonna go into, as we can see, you know, we already in a period of inflation, all right, and it's gonna only get worse, man. You know, go into what, a hyperinflation. You know, you want to say something, Kabar?
Yeah, I got a precept. Backing you up. Bro.
Okay. We're going to get that. We're going to get you Bayan, then we're going to get that video of Tazadak.
Cause Ecclesiastes 12 verse 3. In the day when the keepers of thy house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. That basically is going to what the bro was talking about, man. That how the economy collapsing is leading to what? The merchandise, man. The supplies that make America declining, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To where even the workers, they decline too, man. Cause people getting cut off, man, getting laid off, man. Yep. You know, cause there's no work. You know.
If I could add to you too, you know, back with that trucking, Jake used to, you know, deal with that at once upon a time with the load boards and everything. And this was maybe like 2 years ago. So you can imagine now it being even worse. But, you know, drivers, they be having loads that used to pop up on a board for $1 a mile, you know, which they try to send you like 700 miles out the way and you only get $700, you know. So that was really what was pissing a lot of drivers off, you know, dealing with that. And, you know, that's why drivers starting to take a stand now of like, man, we not moving for that little bit of money no more, you know. But, you know, it's just the repercussion of, you know, people just trying to get over. But also, too, the precept that I have is Revelations 12:12, backing up an earlier point that you made as well. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time, you know. And it's just this controlled damage that's being done right now, all right. And you know, if you're watching and seeing what's going on around you, you know, if you're in tune with these scriptures, if you're in tune with Yahweh Shemiah Shai, you can tell from a mile away. If you're on your watchtower, you can tell from a mile away that this is controlled damage that Esau Edom is doing, because he has nothing but a short time. But that's it for me.
Yeah, kind. Like the brother Kabar butt out. The what it said, the windows are darkened.
The windows are darkened.
Yeah, you know, and that's the outlook on this place. It's dim. You know, you can see that it's just circling the drain, and there's only a matter of time before it go down the toilet. Go ahead, out.
I would say that's why they all said the keepers the house is trembling, man. That's the economic system, man. Yep. You know, that's why they trembling, because they realize that their money can't save them, man. You know what I'm saying? They losing power. You know, by them losing money, they losing power, man.
That's right.
You know, 'cause that's how they was able to obtain their power so long, man. Because they economic system, man. So now that's going down the drain. They going down the drain as well.
That's it.
Beautiful. Yeah, go ahead with your video, Art. You want to show something?
Okay, I'm gonna show you this video, about these sports and how things gonna be drying up. You know, how the song plays is gonna be unsung. You can see it right here, starting right here with the pause and going to the trucking industry, and it gonna be like a domino effect. I'm gonna start this video right quick.
Yet, have you seen this story? There's a lot of talk about the food and stuff that we get off of the ports is going to be running out very soon. And we are going to be in for a rude awakening because these ports are currently empty. And if you're feeling brave enough to go down this rabbit hole, click on the search bar, look up news articles, take a look at images taken at the ports. They are empty, bone dry. Check out Seattle's port. Check out Los Angeles' port. And as you can see, it looks very lonely out there. And for those of you that are not paying attention and don't know what this means for us, it means the supplies that we rely on a daily basis that are shipped here are not coming. And they're going to run out. And what will that do? Drive the price of everything up even more. They're saying that 40% of the ships are empty. 40% of the ships are empty. And again, as you can see right here, there aren't many ships in Los Angeles or Seattle. Now, allegedly, the last international ship that's heading into the port.
God.
Yeah, cause I wanted to say too. It was something he just said, and I wanted to make a point on it. I kind of lost my train of thought, but I would say rewind a little bit because he said something. It made me
Ports are gonna dry up, and there's a lot of people being for a rude awakening.
That's right. That's right. Kalai, you still in that 2 Ezra 15?
But it put up the disclaimer, for the fair use.
Yeah, fair use. Own any rights is not for monetize, whatever. But fair use. But go ahead, give me 2 Ezra 15 and 19. Because when like he was saying, a lot of people gonna be in for a rude awakening, Right. And what we know, the men of the Lord know. All right, I don't want Ratazawi be a part of that righteous number. We know what the rude awakening is. All right, and it's called Jacob's trouble, man. You want to say something, Kabar?
I would say, yeah, you'll get that butter brown, that like of bread.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
This I'm gonna jump up to 18 with Bakasha.
Khan. You can start where you left off at, really.
Khan. Yeah, this back in that 2 Ezra 15 and 14 again, and it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
Yeah, because, but because it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, man, which goes into your politicians, your mayors, all right? Even your so-called president, man, all right? They're going to be seeking the lives of these people, the people that told them, oh, everything going to be all right. Just trust the system. Just trust what we're doing, all right? Everything's going to be just fine. No, these are going to be the people, the course of their actions is going to stand in their power, all right? They're going to do what's ever pleasing because when your children haven't eaten, all right, your family hasn't eaten, and it's going to be men that's going to say, all right, well, I got to take matters into my own hands, man, And that's exactly what they're going to do. It's actually, it's like, I believe it's like 3 to 5 different stages that your body, it goes into, when you actually start to pine away, and Nahal, you holding something?
Yeah, I had that word sedition.
All right, kind of hold Lamentations 5 and 9 for me, cause we gonna come back to you, Kalaya. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Lamentations 5 and 9. It says, "We got our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness."
Let me see. I think that's it.
Put out one more, I think.
Nah, that ain't it. It might be 2.
I'm holding.
When they say pine away stricken for the one of the fruits of the field.
It's 4 and 9.
4 and 9, kind.
Yeah, 4:9. It's Lamentations 4:9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's better to get killed by the sword than to actually die, all right, of starvation, man. You know, because your body actually starts to deteriorate, all right, it actually starts to eat itself from within.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and your mind goes into a state of hallucinating. Hey, man, it get bad when a person actually dies of a famine, man. All right, it gets bad, man. That's not an easy death. That's why the scripture said it's better to be slain with the sword, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it said for they pine away stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field. You know, and when you read in the NLT, it says they waste away for a lack of food from the field. So what? From the lack of food that's available, all right? The storehouse is being found empty, all right? The ports being found empty. The truck is not delivering the product to the stores, man, you know? And majority of the people here in America, all right, are baby fed, man, all right? They're used to having convenience, all right? They're used to be able to go to the store, okay, and buy whatever they need. Or they want to go to the fast food spot and buy whatever they need. Well, what happens when these trucks stop delivering them, man? And you can't go to the fast food spot, or you can't go to the store because people is rioting, looting. You see?
That's it.
Hey,
Go ahead.
and then they got them in so much of a bad position because they overly compensated, like
Yes,
overly. So when a complete opposite happen, you know the effects of it is gonna be way more significant, and magnified on a whole nother scale because they've been overly compensated.
Yeah, that's a good point. Overly compensated. I use the word babyfied. You know, you gotta do everything for a baby. They can't feed themselves, man. You gotta feed them. You gotta change their diaper. You gotta wipe their ass, man. And that's exactly, huh?
Pacified. You know,
Yeah,
he been pacified.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they haven't seen any type of adversity. You know what I'm saying? They you know, a lot of people, you know, they can't stand to eat for just one day. Don't fast. You know, they just want it. You know, it's my money. You know, I want it now. You know, so that's how it is right now. So when this time of trouble comes, a lot of people they gonna be bugged out of their mind because they ain't never faced those type of adversity, that type of tribulation. You know, so you know they're weak and frail. You know, they right now they're relaxing in their leave. You know, everybody like, oh, it's good. What are they talking about? Everything is good. I still have my job. You know, I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Everything's fine. I have my family. But see, the Lord get ready to snatch the rug off up on there. You know what I'm saying? He get ready to find out.
Yeah. As a thief in the night, man.
That's it.
But you could finish that out, Kalaya, because if we're gonna get verse 10 in that, but you could finish that out, Kalaya.
Come. It's back in 2nd Ezra 15 and 17. And it reads, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of the pride of the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation."
Right. It said a man gonna have no pity upon his neighbor and destroy the houses with the sword. All right. And the modern day sword is what we know as a gun. All right. Your Glock 19. All right. Your Glock 30. You know, your assault rifles. Okay. These are the swords, man. And they're actually gonna people. You know, you got these Edomites that's all stocked up. You know, they doomsday prepping. So you know, quote unquote. You know, that's all stocked up with the ammo, and they're ready to go neighborhood to neighborhood, all right, and search for what? Bread, water, anything they can use to survive, man. All right? That's why the course of their actions gonna stand in their power. And they ain't gonna have no pity upon their neighbor, man. You know? You got Tim, next door neighbor, and you got John across the street. They literally showed you that in that movie, Contagion, man. You know, you had your boy in the house, and he was looking out the window, and he seen 3 dudes run up in there mashed up, and all he seen was flashes from the gun, man. Because it was in the time of Jacob's trouble, and that's coming real soon, man. You know, and that could be a good start because of lack of famine. I mean, because of lack of bread, a famine, man. And the Lord said He was gonna do these things, you know. But y'all brothers got anything? Y'all want to make a point before we get go back to that verse 10 in that Lamentations?
Go ahead, you got it.
Right. You got it.
No, I was gonna say because now we in a like an age of information, in a lot of these articles and different videos, and especially with these, man, right? These different phones, these different social media websites and apps, right? A lot of people are bringing out information, and these are becoming more common topics to talk about now. All right, at your your Saturday barbecues, like you got so-called Mother's Day this weekend. These are things that people are talking about, and if you don't think that people notice, how much groceries you're bringing in your house, all right, the different things that Jake have, and even these Edomites, man, you'll be a fool not to take note of that, man. All right, because they're plotting and planning. They're planning. They're getting together. All right, on them late nights after a few beers and talking about these dog things.
That's right.
But you got it out.
I just had this to back up, the point you had just made, Kushab. This Matthew 24:12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah, so and like you said, bro, the courses, what it was you said, the course of the action gonna stand in their power. Well, right here it says iniquity shall abound, and it's basically lawlessness. All right, so ain't gonna be no rules or no regulations. Anybody gonna be abiding by or following. So anything they want to do, they gonna be able to do it. They just gonna do it. All right, it don't matter who you are or how harmful it is to you. All right, people just gonna be trying to survive, man. So it's gonna be wild and wicked out here.
Right? You'll be killed or be killed, the strong shall survive, only the strong shall survive. But in that time, that's be what the elect. So we seeing right now, a lot of people, they comfortable, they're relaxing, they leave, they think, hey man, what are they talking about? Even though they seeing what's going on around the world, they're not believing, So Lord's getting ready to make a believer out of them very soon, Lord, He's getting ready to do a mighty work. He's getting ready to show forth His great glory and great power, because once the Lord comes to your necessities, your way of life, when you hadn't eaten in a couple of days, when you hadn't bathed in a couple of days, or you don't have any shelter, you are homeless, what I'm saying? Your family totally got destroyed right before your eyes. What are you going to do? See, a lot of people gonna be taken at a great number. It's judgment. But these people right now, they right now they'll rock back to sleep from the left hand side. They just be distraction with this what's to do with Shannon Sharp. They watching this and different other things, and this man's constantly making moves over there. What's going on over there in India and between India and Pakistan? That could spiral out of control. And we could be right here, World War III, in a couple of hours or maybe a couple of days. You never know. All hell is getting ready to break loose. So you got it, man.
Yeah, bring out that verse 10. Nahalia. Oh, brother wanted to say something?
Yeah, if I could say, my phone just pinged when that brother said World War III. It said Kim Jong-un prepares for nuclear war and chilling missile test targeting U.S. and South. So like these things, these are very familiar topics now, man. Like these things are going on, man. You got
to just be talked about in the open is clearly shows you how fast things can actually escalate, But bring out that verse 10. A brother could give me a second address 16 and 46.
Lamentations 4:10. It says, the hands of the pitiful women have saddened their own children. They were their meat and the destruction of the daughter of my people.
It says that the hands of the pitiful women have saddened their own children, man. So these are times coming into, to actually see women cook their children, man. You know.
Read in the NLT too.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is verse 10 in the NLT. It says, tender-hearted women have cooked their own children. They have eaten them to survive the siege.
Yeah. And that's what you actually may see somebody doing that, man. You know? That's the times that we coming into. This is the nastiness that brothers talk about in the scriptures, man. Because nobody wants to get into that. Everybody want to talk about peace, love, prosperity. But nobody don't want to talk about the times that we coming into. We actually going to see families, all right, cooking this child a day. And then next week, we're going to cook the other child to survive, man. You know? That's what these things can lead to. But nobody seems to know or understand what's going on. You know? Y'all brothers got it.
I got that account too.
I got
Which one?
With the women eating the baby in Kings.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Kind. You'll bring it out. You want to say something, bro? Oh, all right. Go ahead, Bayan.
I got
something too?
That word
Okay.
Sidon.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this that word Sidon. It's H1310 Bashal. And it says to boil, to cook, to bake, to roast.
God damn.
Yeah, y'all got it.
Yeah.
Barbecue, man.
I'll see you took the words out of my mouth, man. Yeah, that nigga running around in Haiti last year talking about barbecue, man.
That was his name, huh? That was his nickname.
Yeah, that was his name, barbecue.
But
you want to say something about?
Yeah, I
Hold
want
on.
to say too, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I want to say too, yeah. Sure, they gonna do that because the love go wax cold.
Oh yeah.
Ain't no love, man.
Mm-hmm.
Then you want to say that Greek word wax cold, it means psycho in the Greek, right?
Yeah, kind.
So yeah, people, turn psycho, man. To where they don't have the right state of mind, man. What they doing?
Kind.
They're just acting off impulse.
Yeah, that's a spirit you brought that back around too, because I was gonna say that, but I forgot. That's a spirit, bro. You know, a lot of people gonna be what they call it, psychotic. You know, their mind ain't even gonna be in the right state, man. You know, they just gonna be out here doing whatever they need to survive. They ain't gonna stand with no, and especially if you don't have the wisdom and knowledge from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, especially, man. You know, they say the wisdom and knowledge gonna keep us stable in those times. But to them that are without, they're gonna be totally destroyed, man. You know? And we still gonna have integrity in that day as well. Hey man, the Lord gonna make sure we good too. You know, we gonna go into that as well, you know. But go ahead, Bayan.
This is it's gonna be basically like two parts, because the first part is with the dung and the ass.
Go ahead. Get the one with the woman first.
Okay. It's right after. It's like two verses after that.
All right. Well, however you want to do it.
Yeah, it's all gonna roll into each other. It's like a continuing story. But it says 2 Kings 6:25. It says, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver.
Right, so that's what you call hyperinflation. You know, I believe, man, you was looking it up one day, Bayan, and you remember what that was? Like in US dollars, I think it was like $175 or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it wasn't no more than 200, and then I think that's even probably too much. I think it was less than that. I think one of them might even been like $80 or something like that.
Hey, brother, $80 for some bird shit is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy, brother. Yeah. But that go to show you how with hyperinflation and how when things are hyperinflated, that the food is automatically scarce because the lack of supply subsedes the demand. You know, the demand is this high, but the supply is all the way down here. So that's naturally going to cause hyperinflation, man. You know, and going to leave us in situations like this. But go ahead.
Verse 26, it says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn or out of the winepress? Basically, how can I help you? Like, I don't know what I could do to help you right now, man. But it says 28.
Yeah. If the Lord ain't doing nothing for you, what I'm gonna do for you, man? Hey, that's what we gonna be saying in that day. You know, Lord willing, man.
God. But verse 28 says, and the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And she had hid her son.
Yeah, they literally made a deal to take turns to cook one child this day so we can survive the famine. All right, the next day we gonna cook your child, but the other woman said, "Nah, I ain't with that." You know, yeah. That's more.
Nah, that was pretty much it. But you know, the moral of the story is she reneged on their agreement. You know, but again, that's troubling times. That you even down to that point that we about to boil our children and eat them. You know what I'm saying? And let alone that just your child get ate and the other child get hit and put away. Like now you just got hit with a double whammy,
Yeah. Now you gonna unalive yourself, man.
Hey, hey, brother, and that was way back then. So
right.
How much more nowadays when it says this should be a time like no other? That's gonna be amplified on a whole new scale.
Yeah. Especially when you look at Keisha, man, you see Keisha, like Apostle Ricochet, how about the call with Ray, and the whole gang, man, that's gonna be a lot of eating in that day, man. And Keisha already weighed about 300 pounds, man.
Hey, look, Keisha already angry too, brother.
Yeah.
She already dealing treacherously with the children already. So it ain't gonna take no time for her to turn up, man.
That's it.
God.
Hey, like Apostle Carl say, Big Shirley.
Big Shirley. Yeah, Big Shirley, man. They gonna be doing it. They gonna be doing it, Slime.
Hey, the elder down here like to be quoting Kevin Samuels. It's like you remember Kevin Samuels said that you built like Emmitt Smith, you can hit the A gap like a motherfucker. So they big and obese. We like to call them fats. So in that time, man, when a fat can't get no food, that's a raging fat. It just gonna go.
Jay gonna be having fried BBLs and shit.
For real. Hey man, it's gonna get nasty out here, bro.
Real
you got a precept? Go ahead.
I got one.
What's that one?
Shalom to Akim, y'all.
Oh, shalom, y'all. Yeah, bring your precept out, Hezekiah. Let me get you Kaliah. Deshai, you had something?
I had that the second Ezra 16.
Oh yeah. Bring that out right quick.
It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, verse 46. It says, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children.
So in captivity and famine, they're going to get children, man. And what you think they're going to do? You think they just going to take children captive? No, man. It's people that's going to be out here looking for children just to cook them, man. Just to have something to eat, just to put them on the grill, But that was it. Go ahead, Hezekiah.
I'm gonna pull this other precept real quick. Let's see. I'm gonna get this is Isaiah 3 and verse 24. The points in 25. It says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of a well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. And verse 25, it says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. And the reason why I brought that out is because, the man, he's basically the pillar within the house, man. He's the ox. He's the one that's driving, the house to be, correct, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, when you take away that pillar, you know what I'm saying? The house itself, it crumbles, right? And so what Keisha's going to be left with? Her children, man. Them nagging, spoiling, fucking, get on your nerve ass, having ass children, man. So that's what's going to drive her to doing the things that she's going to do to him. But you got it.
Yeah, and you can only imagine, like we was talking about earlier, in this society that's been so pacified and babyfied, people eat 4 or 5 times a goddamn day, man. So they don't go on intermittent fast, Brothers, we do the Day of Atonement. Some brothers do, 24-hour fast, not just on the Day of Atonement, but multiple times throughout the year, man. Some brothers do 16-hour fast, 18-hour fast daily. All right? That's in brothers' regimen of their diet, And when you haven't done a 12-hour fast, and since you've been born, or since, you've been an adolescent up until the times of now, man, Lord knows what you're going to do in the times to come, man. These people can't even go a day without eating,
Right. The scriptures tell you that a man that doesn't have, basically no control over his spirit is like a city with walls is broken down, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that for everybody else. You eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be completely bugged out when you got to go 12, 16 hours, 18 or longer without food.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Kalaya.
You can make your point out.
I was just about to say, and that's going into what I said earlier about the people being overly compensated, brother. Because at any moment they get hungry, they could go to a fast food restaurant. They get hungry again, they could go somewhere else. Alright, they can. It's easy for them to satisfy the appetite in their flesh. Alright, so when that's just stripped away from them, all hell gonna break loose. They got brothers. They got a lot of brothers who intermittent fast as they way of living. So it's gonna be easier for them, to deal with it rather than someone who just overly you just stuff with feeding into your pleasures. But you got it.
Yeah, they got brothers that eat once a day, man.
Yeah, yeah. Once
a day, you might eat once a day and have a snack or fruits or something for breakfast, man. Go ahead,
I wanted to just say real quick that Babylon the Great creates things inconvenience for you, but us brothers, being in the truth, it creates inconvenience. So we're used to not having, while the world is used to having the opportunity to have. So when it comes down to taking away their pleasures, right, their desires, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna, bug out and lose their minds, man.
Mm-hmm. Dave, if I could back you up too, bro, like you said, with people in this world, even like eating out and stuff. Imagine if you was to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eating out all throughout the day, you're gonna spend about $100 just like that. You know what I'm saying? Just backing up your point that, brothers just ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? So again, we make do what we have, to be able to maintain these things. You know what I'm saying? But that also fits, like you said, with brothers eating probably once a day or so. That's filling to a brother now because we just so familiar with it now. But you brothers got it.
Yeah, go ahead. Your precept,
don't forget to they Uber Eats, man. They ordering for as well.
Yeah, food coming in.
So all times, 24 hours in a day they got food to them.
But now, this is the book of Jeremiah 19 and verse 8. And it reads, "And I will make this city desolate, and a hissing, everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished, and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straightness, where it say, wherewith their enemies, and that they that seek their lives shall be straitened them." I didn't, just going into everything, brothers was talking about, man. Eating the flesh of your sons and daughters. And there was a point I wanted to make back in that account. That was a dialogue between two mothers. They actually negotiated before proceeding with the act. And this time to come, it won't be no negotiating. All right. People will be getting put down immediately. At the sight of, hey, you got children. Okay. It's because the scriptures tell you in Daniel 12, it's gonna be a time like no other. People not gonna have the patience, especially these crazy ass people today. Right? When you go into that word waxing cold in Matthew the 24th chapter, it goes in a cycle, man. All right, these people are gonna increasingly becoming more psychotic, especially those that are on medicines. All right, they won't have the patience either to negotiate with you. Or it's just gonna be straight blood, man. You got
straight impulse, brother.
Right, like an animal. When an animal is hungry, bro, he don't negotiate with the prey. He just go and get it. Like whenever the prey comes in his view, he smell a prey. That's when he going straight way to it. Y'all got it.
Yeah, you want to say something, Cabal? All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to talk about these blackouts. Like what happened in Spain and Portugal. I think maybe about a week or so back, or whatever. But we constantly been seeing a lot of blackout. A lot of them they're blaming on weather. They're saying like it's a cyber attack. So a lot of those people over there in Spain and Portugal, they was going on with their daily life. A lot of them couldn't get to work. A lot of them couldn't even try to go to the ATM. They were trying to get money out. None of that wasn't working. They couldn't call their loved ones because communication was out. They thought they was a good case. They weren't what you call mindful of the scourging. So I got a quick quick precept to bring it out. What I'm talking about. It says here, 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 20 says, "But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." Things that's going on around. People going on with their daily life, not thinking about, hey, this could happen, that could happen, lacking this, lacking that, not having this, or separated from their family, these scourges going into these plagues, So we see that these plagues are constantly growing all around us. Let's get this verse 21. It's going to sum it up. Said, 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 21 said, "Behold, victuals shall be so good and cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." So that's where we at right now, and that's getting ready to come. A lot of people in their comfort zone right now. A lot of people think they're a good case. They not worried about tomorrow. I have plenty today. I'm a doomsday prep. I'm ready for this. But what the Lord said would be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. Only way you will get prepared if you're a part of what the elect. So the Lord will say, hey, we're gonna be eating good, but they're gonna be what? Moaning and vaccinating the spirit. You got it, man.
Go down.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah.
Oh, give me that in Isaiah 65. Go ahead. Right there.
Charles the Doc, read 22.
Read down 22?
Yeah.
All right, come. Okay, 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 22. It said, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." So that's what we at, in this famine, already talking the dark forecast about the ports, and telling you about these shelves, they're going to dry up, so you already know a lot of people, like every day, they get hungry and go straight to to the convenience store, go straight to a Walmart, their favorite restaurant, where they tell you that, hey, we don't have this, it's unavailable, we don't even have water. What are you going to do? A lot of these people that don't have faith and work, they're going to have that, what you call that beastie mindset. You know what I'm saying? Kill or be killed. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord is going to say, we say what? Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2, say he's going to set the Egyptians, get the Egyptians. It's going to be shit, silver and red, man. It's going to be, they don't work.
Yeah, we got the climax of the movie, man.
You got it.
Everything getting ready to go downhill fast. You know?
That's it.
It said many of them shall perish of famine. Many. So they ain't say few. There's gonna be a lot of people that pine away stricken, man.
You know? Millions. Yeah. Gonna be taking in a great number. The Lord not gonna be playing.
Yeah, give me that one, Isaiah 65. Y'all brothers got anything before we get that?
I get something after.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all get y'all two out the way. We probably ended off on that one.
Con. All right. You know, this is just the mindset of the elect in that time. You know, this is the book of Saint Matthew, chapter 6 and 25. You know, speaking of the mindset of the elect. You know, when these famines and JT's is in a mixture. Matthew chapter 6 and 25, red letters Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye should eat, or what ye should drink, nor yet for your body, what ye should put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? And you know, that's the again, knowing these things, you know, knowing working with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, working for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you know, doing these things that the Lord is going to protect us, you know, through these times of trouble. Okay, and just knowing that, you know, we shouldn't have no type of mental shakes, you know, in that time of trouble, because the Lord got us. You know, it's written, red letters right here. The Lord tells you that He got us in that time of trouble. But that's it for me.
Yeah, and let that be an epistle to the true worshipers, man. As it says in John 4, that when the time of the true worshipers shall worship Him in spirit and in truth. Well, let that be an epistle to them, those who worship in the Heavenly Father and the Son in spirit and in truth, man. Because what the Lord gonna have us, He gonna have us well protected. All right, as it says, He gonna keep a hedge about us, man. You know. But go ahead, Kabar. You had something, right?
Yeah. It's Job 5 verse 20. In famine He shall redeem thee from death, and in a war from the power of the sword. They the main point.
Start at 19. Start at 19, Bible Shah. Yeah.
This is Job 5 verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
Yeah, but you know, 7 represents completion. So in 6, you know, He gonna deliver us. In 7, 8, it's gonna be all over it. Ain't no evil gonna touch us, man. You know, go ahead.
Verse 20. In famine He shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. They can't. Yeah, basically, man, yes, that's why we're not supposed to worry about the famine that's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because if we'll be elect, we will be redeemed. But everybody else, they go perish by the famine. Hey, Lord will redeem us, man. We go perform miracles to where, man, we go eat. As the brother go get in Isaiah 65, man.
Keep going.
Verse 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Keep going.
At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
Yeah, it said destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. So you gotta think about the mind state or the spirit that the Lord is gonna have on us in them times, man. You know, to be able to laugh at famine and destruction, man, that's crazy. You know, but that's what the Lord gonna do for us, man. Yep. You know.
Like I say, you know, and why do you think that? Because we know that these are something that we have to go through, and we know that our kingdom is getting closer and closer, you know, than we could ever imagine, you know. So, you know, when these times of trouble hit, this ain't nothing but a bookmark to let us know where we at, you know, in this story that the Lord has written, man. And we know that, you know, we gonna be back on top, man. That's
Yeah, we'll be laughing. We would be laughing because we talked about those things, man. We say it was gonna happen.
That's right.
A lot of people didn't believe it. So with people going through it, they gonna know a prophet been among them, man. I told you so, man.
That's Ezekiel 33 and 33, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead and bring out that Isaiah 65. Like, we get out here on that.
You got Isaiah 65? I thought he asked another one.
I thought Hezekiah had it. You don't have it?
Isaiah 65, verse 13.
You on mute, Hezekiah. You talking when you on mute.
He told you on mute.
Oh, Salakia. Yeah, I was holding it. There's Isaiah 65 and verse 13. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord God. It says, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Keep going.
God, so yeah, you know, going into it, you know what I'm saying? You know, during the time of this, you know, World War III, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have famine, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have pestilence, right? You know, we're gonna have people being slain by the sword. You know, we also, you know, people gonna be, you know, starving, literally out in the streets, man. But for the servants of the Lord, man, you know, the Lord's gonna provide a way for us, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make it to where, you know, those certain acts that he did in the book, you know, even greater, you know, so his name could be magnified in the earth, man, by feeding the men. Okay, the people are going to be wondering, how, you know, how did you survive all this time without having all these different credentials, man? Without having all the different things that a society has to offer. And it's going to be through the Spirit, empower Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai.
Yeah.
You got it?
Read 14 out.
Verse 14, it says, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Yeah, and that tells you the two polar opposites of how people gonna be in that day. You gonna have the hopeful elect who ought to be the elect that's gonna be singing and being in a joy and a merry state of mind because they know that the kingdom is at hand. You know, literally, it's gonna be at hand, man. And you got the other side of the coin is those, you know, heathen 2/3 being in a sorrow of heart and be hollering for a vexation of spirit because of the times of trouble, man. You know? But that was pretty much it. Y'all brothers had any points, any precepts?
No.
Yeah. So, you know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man. And exhorting to the hopeful elect. So with that, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors unto Yahweh Bashim, double honors once again to the apostles and others of great millstone. Peace, blessing, and salutations to those who elect. Till next time, say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.